Hey guys, this is Comic and today I'm doing a review for Jessica Jones issue 3. And before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic episode 174, and that show will review all the comics I read this week in one show, and the exclusive comics for that show are in description below. But let's start talking about Jessica Jones issue 3 with a pretty, artsy cover. It doesn't really explain much, but you do have the little Hydra symbol, so is Hydra behind all this? We'll find out. It's always the answer of Hydra. But very cool ink blotting here. I like that. I think that's pretty cool for the cover. And then, of course, love the interior here. It's a throwback to old Jessica Jones because it's the same creative team. And in some weird way, you're like transported to that time where you're not really thinking modern Marvel. You're thinking about the Jessica Jones world that existed back when the series was out. And then you're reminded by some of the Civil War II things that are coming into the story. And a lot of it actually is influenced by Civil War II. I feel like a lot of Bendis's work this week I would say tied into his other work. We had Guardians of the Galaxy that came out. That was a tie-in to Infamous Iron Man, really. Then Spider-Man was a tie-in to Civil War II. And now Jessica Jones is a tie-in to Civil War II also, at least a little bit more. So what do I think of the story, though? So with this issue, why I say it's a tie-in is that Jessica gets kidnapped. She's seeing all these visions. She even sees Danny, her daughter, and she's in that Captain America suit that we're going to see in the U.S. Avengers, so hopefully that's connected in some way. How we have this older version of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's daughter, but these are all kind of visions. These are all illusions, and she meets the person that captures her, which is actually Allison from Civil War II issue 4, which I actually had to reread because I remembered her character when she was mentioned. Because I remember I felt like when I was reading that book, I'm like, she seems important, but she's not. So now you find out why this character felt important in that book and had somewhat of a backstory in that issue and is brought here. So, like I said, Bendis's story is really connecting with a lot of his work this week. And making it kind of making it its own Bendis world. Like, it's not really the other stories going on in the Marvel Universe connecting, but his stories, because he's writing so many books for Marvel, are very much connecting and feels kind of like its own mini world in some way. And then in the end, we don't really find out if Allison's evil or not. We just know that she doesn't really like superheroes and she wants to work with Jessica. And then Luke finds Jessica and Jessica runs away. And that's the end. So, negative of this issue, it's kind of slow. It's really just an interrogation and that's it. And then even the cliffhanger is kind of weak. It's like, Luke and Jessica see each other. Jessica leaves. So it's definitely a slower issue, but the positive of this issue, like I said, was the connection to Civil War II. And I thought that was a better part of Civil War II, and then it started dragging. But bringing back this character that kind of felt very insignificant and making her a character, I thought was really cool. And I'm really curious to learn more about her. I remember in the comic they just mentioned, hey, she has a fiance, her dad's a cop, and she's just a financial banker, and Captain Marvel thought someone was up with her, and even in this book she doesn't believe that she's doing anything wrong. She doesn't work with Hydra or anything like Captain Marvel was saying, so you wonder what's her motive. And she does have this backstory where she seems like this normal person, so I'm really curious about that mystery, and she wants to learn more about the Marvel Universe in general and all these heroes. She says she wants to unlock the secrets, so maybe this will unlock the secrets of Secret Wars and all these world combining stories that we got I guess 2 years ago now. I know that was kind of an Ultimate End, that story that was attached to Secret Wars. We still don't know the full story of how the Ultimate Universe ended, and maybe we'll get some answers here. So I'm wondering if we're going to get those bigger Marvel answers in a book like Jessica Jones. So I like the issue. Like I said, it was slower. I still don't think Jessica Jones is exactly where I want it to be, and it does have somewhat of this throwback, maybe a little bit too much of a throwback, where you feel like you're reading a back issue more than the current story for Marvel, but then you're reminded, hey, Civil War II, let's stick that in there. So very curious about Allison's character. Luke's story I thought could have been a little stronger in this issue, but it's not really that much in the story. It only has a few pages. Definitely a slow burn, but I like this issue. So I'm going to give Jessica Jones issue 3 3.5 stars. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.